Kaizer Chiefs will play Chippa United for the third time this season. And this game is so important not only because we are still trying to get in the top 8 because we want to be in the top 8 next year and play against Sundowns, but we're also trying to beat a team for the third time, which would just be impressive because if they can't even answer for Chiefs 3 times in a row, that's something to be proud of after such a horrible season. So how are we going to line up and what is the plan that Nabi is going to deploy? Well, let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. We're on the road to 60,000 subscribers. So if you are new here, please do make sure to subscribe for more Kaizer Chiefs content. So in goal, we are going to have Uprose Vuma. Of course, it's going to be Vuma. Who else can it be? I just think that it's the same thing that we've been saying for weeks now, that with Bruce Vuma, he has his things that he's capable of doing, a good save here and there, but the problem is then sometimes he just will let the goal go in. We need Vuma to be better because we know that he can stop goals from going in. He's capable of doing that. It's a thing that we always say. Vuma is an okay goalkeeper, but he can be better. He can become one of the best keepers in SA if he just dedicated more time into improving himself, because right now at this point we are looking at a situation whereby a lot of people are doubting our goalkeeper. In fact, even the technical team did doubt Vuma. That's why they went and got Untwari, but then Ntwari ended up getting injured, and then before he got injured, Chiefs were conceding goals and people blamed him for it, only to find that it wasn't his fault all along, but we're not there. So Vuma needs to take that with both hands because the opportunity has been granted to him and the technical team is not going to change him until the end of the season. Which brings us to our right back, which is going to be Dylan Solomons. Of course, it's going to be him. Riff Rosler is currently injured, and Dylan Solomons, since he's been given an opportunity to play, he's done a clean job. Like, I don't know anyone who can blame him and the things that he has done so far for Chiefs, because he's been solid in that position. He runs up and down, has a lot of energy. I just wonder how many games he's going to play before we go to the derbies, because at some point they might want to rest him, because this guy has issues with his injuries and he gets injured quite a lot, because remember, this guy is a speedster. He goes up and down the wing, and because of that he usually gets injured. Which brings us to the third player on the center back pairing, and that's given him Simango, who himself has admitted that his performances have gotten much better because he's been working hard on the side as well, so that his confidence can improve and his abilities and his performances can be better. So what can I say? Shout out to Kevin. Center back partnership here at Milson Dove, of course it's gonna be him, because if we change that partnership with Miguel injured and we don't even know when he's coming back, and with how these two guys perform together against Sundowns, I think it would make no sense if Chiefs then upped and decided, oh no, we're benching one of them. It would be ridiculous. I hope they don't do it. So yeah, which then brings us to the left back, and you know who it is. Bloom. I mean, we have to eat humble pie when we are served, because this guy, the performance that he had against Sundowns, he showed character, and we can never speak enough about the importance of character if you're playing for Kaizer Chiefs, and Bradley Cross did show it, and he redeemed himself to show that he can actually offer us a lot more in that position. Which then brings us to the midfield position, and the first person in that 6-6 role is going to be El Capitano Yusuf Mart. For those of you who did not watch yesterday's video, yes, he extended his contract for 2 more years with Kaizer Chiefs, so he's not going anywhere. Capitano, Pilo, you like Mart? I do, and he's staying. He's not going anywhere. Man, if let me help you. If you hate Mart, I will help you love him. Don't look at Mart and how he plays based on how you feel about him. Use apps like SofaScore. Just go to sofascore.com and search Yusuf Mart and look at his stats and look at what he does for the team. Because if you are looking at him based on what you expect from a player, you are not looking at underlying numbers. Those numbers are not generated. Those numbers are numbers that are based on his performance and not how you feel about him, because you guys also have this tendency of, even if a player is performing well, just because you hate them, you're now going to say they're playing bad. So we move. The next player who's going to play alongside him is going to be George Matlo. Now, this wouldn't have been my first choice, and I'm not saying this is the player that I would pick, but based on how I see Nabi approaching games, I think he's going to play Matlo, based on the fact that I've heard Nabi so many times talking about, not so many times, but there was that quote by Nabi, Mshini needs to work on his physicality, and George Matlo definitely has physicality. You must remember, Nabi is North African, so they are so into the physicality part. And that's not to say George Matlo is also not a good footballer in general. He is, and before he got injured, he was doing exactly that as a second pivot, and then was playing alongside Umar, and because I don't think he has ever played alongside Ucele. So he is going to be there and is going to be playing, unless the coach decides that now we don't need that much physicality, we need the creativity of Umshin. But I do think that he is definitely going to play George Matlo. Who is going to play alongside, as a 10 then? Well, one and only Gaston Sereno. He's come back to that position, right? He's come back and we've seen him perform in that position so well. It's just that against Sundowns, those games, it almost feels like he should never play those games, because it just feels and looks like he wants to do everything by himself. But I hope that in this game he will not be doing that, because we've seen that he gives a team and can give a team a lot. Which brings us to the left wing, of course, Pulemodi. I wonder if there is one player, if we can say, give the award for the most improved player for the Chiefs, it's him. Under Nasreddin Nabi, Pulemodi is the player that has improved the most. Yes, Umtu Shabalala is there in the conversation, but Pulemodi has been consistently trying to push and be better in every game, and he gives you this consistency in working hard and all of those things. And obviously, we always want more. We want more goals. We need more goals from him. He's a winger, because at the end of the day, if your wingers are not scoring, this is not 2004, 2003, where we're expecting wingers to play crosses into the box. We want wingers to score goals as well. Look at players like Mo Salah, Messi and Ronaldo. Those are not strikers, they are wingers. Some people still think they're strikers. Those people were playing as wingers, and they've revolutionarized. Hey, revolutionarized. Yes. It's not my mouth. But they've brought revolution into how we see wingers. Salah, good example. And we want to see more of that. We want to see Umodi actually doing that very same thing at Kaizer Chiefs, on top of the contributions that it does. Right wing position, Claude Lilepo. And yeah, I think I thought about this, and I was like, personally, I would play him still, Lilepo. Reason being, I would be on some, okay, let me keep the team that was playing last week, right, for consistency, for continuity. But I will whisper to his ear and say, listen, bro, if you don't start performing, if you continue not lifting your socks, pulling up your socks, you're going to be benched in the derby and the final, because we can't have passengers in the final. I just finished, I was analyzing another game. I won't tell you which one, because, yeah. But I was analyzing that game, and I saw that other team I was watching lost because they had two passengers that were just in that team, like Madrid and Arsenal. That's what I'm talking about, actually. So, Madrid had two passengers. Vinicius and Mbappe were not marking, so Arsenal were just picking them apart whenever they had the ball, because they always had an extra man. So Lile Poma is by passenger, so I hope that he solves that. Number 9, of course, star boy Duba. I think that if he doesn't play or doesn't start, that wouldn't make sense. But if he doesn't finish the game, like take him off in the 60th minute or 70th minute, I'm okay with that, because we need him for the final, and we don't have anyone else with goals, with the pressure, with everything that he provides. Pressure Morris, pressure Dupree. But are they as good at scoring goals as he is? the answer is no. So I think that Uduba is that player who should now be managed as we are looking ahead to the derby and the final as well. So what do you think, guys, will happen here? Because this game is starting at around 6, close to 6, quarter to 6, and yeah, I think the Chiefs can win this game, should win this game, because even last time we were there when we were playing Stellenbosch, we had a very good game. But on top of that, after the confidence of last week, if you haven't subscribed, this is the time to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.